Hey there guys, this is Slamzeron aka YouTube's Tosuke, and guess what I got to play while I was off not making videos for you guys? The Dark Souls 2 network test. I got a chance to play the beta, the one that got rescheduled that was like at 2 a.m. Eastern time, so I actually had to stay up for it. I didn't play very much of it, I just kind of wanted to sample it, and it was right after recording the Star Ocean episode of my podcast, so I wasn't exactly in the best of moods for Dark Souls, nor was I really energetic. But I played it, and the atmosphere, I like it. It seems kind of dark, but also has like I feel like it's kind of like with Dark Souls 1, where the bonfires made you feel safe. In this sense, I feel like just fire and light in general is intended to make you feel safe. Like there are some areas, like a bonfire in one area that is next to a friggin' skeleton cave, so you would think it would freak me out a little bit. But the fact that there are all these like little lanterns and like I say lantern like, and sort of like it was a makeshift lantern, and of course there was a bridge that would lead to an enemy I could fight if I really wanted to. So danger was definitely present, but it felt more cozy to me. I don't know. I felt safe there. Um, I chose the warrior, the knight looking dude, the guy who kind of has like the fur and the sword and shit. I play as that guy. Overall, the game feels a lot more fluid, and I was worried that it was gonna disrupt the game a little bit and make it feel a little slow, but it actually felt fine. They give you a lot more stats to work with too, like stats that are tied directly to like your speed as well as your how quickly you hold up your shield and whatnot, which I think is interesting. My only gripe with that is that they don't actually tell you what's what. You kind of have to like click on the more info button because they just show you the pictures, so it's kind of hard to tell what's what. And even when you show the help up, you can, sometimes I found it kind of hard to tell what I was actually highlighted, so I'd end up picking the wrong thing by accident, and I wouldn't even know it. As far as the undead form, it looks interesting. It looks more like a zombie, like a ghouly zombie, as opposed to looking like beef jerky. Or just like a really hollowed, like half dead thing. You look more like a ghouly kind of zombie. You don't look as grotesque, I think. And you can actually get the items to bring yourself back to human form pretty easily. Or not easily, like the Elegy of Emptiness. Or no, the human effigy. What am I thinking? Elegy of Emptiness. That's fucking Ben. But the human effigy, you can get those okay. Like I had a few of them. And Estus Flask, though drinking animation slower, so it's going to be a little... That may have to do with a stat, though, and I hope it does, because I like being able to quickly swig something. And it looks like as far as health goes, like it doesn't like automatically build your... It goes up, like you actually see the progress go up, like the bar actually goes up. So it's not like instant, like what you like in Dark Souls 1, where you just drink something and your HP would go up. I get it. So even if you heal, you could still like potentially not make any progress if you're fighting someone who's either quick enough or smart enough to attack you. But and then the life gems, those are like a toned down Estus Flask, and I like them. I don't think I'm gonna. I didn't rely too much on healing, or at least not the life gems. Like I feel like they're like a secondary thing. Like if I run out of Estus, I'll use them mainly because they're much slower than. Yes, I mean, and you can use them while walking, which I guess can be useful, but other than that, I don't really see any real purpose for them. Character customization, they don't let you make your own character. your character, obviously, for the beta, but it looks like you're going to be able to do facial hair for males, which I think is cool. The dual wielding, I couldn't really tell what was different. You know, I kind of got a little bit of Skyrim syndrome where they're like, oh, dual wield, but then you actually get it, and it's like, well, what's the big deal? You just made it to where you can actually dual wield now, and you've made it to where if you press both buttons, you do a attack. The one thing they made it to where when you two-hand both weapons. And it's set up to where it's not like a one big collective damage because you're using two weapons. It still treats it like a single hand, which I think is fair for this kind of game, and actually makes combat a little more interesting. It'd be kind of boring if like just dual wielding on its own just had like its own setup, like its own like its own like damage rate, as opposed to just mixing, like literally mixing the damage rates of two weapons because you're using both of them. Didn't fight the bosses. I didn't really make it that far. I kind of got stuck at this part where these two like black phantom giant things started attacking me. So I couldn't make any progress, and they're actually really tough. If I leveled up enough, I probably could have beaten them, but dang, they were tough. And there was a part where I could have jumped, but I didn't think to, or I chose not to out of safety. One thing I like is the torch for like lighting up dark areas. They just give you the torch, and turns out I was wrong with the status thing, with the equipment thing. You can still walk around, but you go into a pose. So you can still walk around and whatnot, but you go into a pose. I guess just to indicate that you're currently trying to access your menu. Let's see what else. I did watch some other videos and to kind of catch up, to kind of see what I missed out on. And it does seem like it's going to take more work to aggro an NPC, which I like because sometimes you might accidentally hit them. And, you know, I already hate friendly fire in these kind of games anyway. Or it's like they get mad and it's like, I'm not trying to hit you. You're just in the way. What else? What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, it seems like, you know, they are upping the difficulty. Enemies did seem a little tougher. I couldn't exactly like ram through it. I mean, of course, now I understand how to play Dark Souls, so I'm not going to ram through things anyway. But even still, I felt like I had to work a little bit to actually connect hits and make damage. And it seems like they're trying to make it a little bit easier with like the Way of Blue and the Blue Sentinel covenants, which we've learned about like I think last week, to help other players. I like that because, you know, sometimes you just want to get through and like just enjoy the game, and getting invaded just kind of disrupts that. I know a lot of people are like, you know, it's part of the game, it adds excitement, and it does, but it also adds tension, especially when you're trying to just enjoy the game at your own pace. Which I'm glad they include like an offline mode in all three games. They're going to in Dark Souls 2. And with this, you know, the Blue Sentinels and the Way of the Blue, and of course the Heir to the Suns is coming back, and that'll be probably the covenant I join. I'll probably start off as Way of the Blue or something. To maybe even to help out players and whatnot. But overall, I think this game is going to be harder than Dark Souls, and I'm actually looking forward to it. It's going to be fun, I think. It looks really nice. You know, it plays nice. I'm really looking forward to, you know, playing it. And it seems like Dark Souls might become a franchise, and as opposed to just being like just a casual, like just an occasional game. I think that'd be cool. It seems like it's trying to be the new Kingsfield. Maybe they'll make it up to Dark Souls 4, and then they'll make a new spiritual successor, and they'll call it Chair's Door or something. No, I'm kidding. But overall, the beta was fun. didn't really like how I had to stay up till 2 a.m. just to play it. I know, that From Software was hosting it and that they publish it in Japan, but for a North American beta, Namco Bandai should have helped out. So I feel like it's not necessarily From Software's fault more than it's Namco Bandai's for not taking priority of that. I mean, maybe From Software could have asked, though, so I, can't really be helped. And of course, the game will come out in March, so that'll be fun. I'm just getting the Black Armored Edition because I think I don't have the money, one, and I want actual action figures of Dark Souls. I don't want. I'm getting tired of these statues. Like, I want Tails figures. I want Soul Calibur figures. I want Dark Souls. I'll have to do a video about action figures that I want, like a top 10. I'm actually going to do that at some point. That'll be another video. I said in my Let's Play I'm going to try to do more videos that I said I would do. But I think that's pretty much it. I look forward to more info, and of course, I check the news, video game news, every day, multiple times during the day. So I will. Hopefully, there'll be more info, and I probably should have said this in the beginning, but sorry that I didn't. I was told from Epic Name Bureau that we weren't allowed to upload footage, and so I'm just like, okay, well, I won't take the time to record it. Plus, it would have been in lower quality anyway because I don't have an HD capture card. Now, I could have sampled it and then recorded later, but I mean, then it kind of takes away the whole first impressions aspect of it. So I chose not to record it. I think now they've changed it to where you're allowed to, but you have to get permission first. So, sorry. Maybe during the next beta if they have one. And of course, I'll do a commentary on this game. Obviously. Talk about it, play it. Thinking about maybe rebranding my commentaries to Tosuke Gaming Show and Tell, because that's really the point. I think I mentioned that before. I say a lot of stuff and then I forget, did I say that? But anyway, Dark Souls 2 beta, really fun. I'm sorry if anyone didn't get a chance to participate. Hopefully, and if you did get a chance to participate, I hope you had as much fun as I did. This is Flamesborn, aka YouTube Sasuke, signing out. Bye, and the true Dark Souls 2 starts here. That doesn't really work. Bye.